All right, everybody, welcome back to Unplayable. I hope you had your bathroom break. I hope you're hydrated because we got 400 spoilers to go through for Disney Lorcana today. So buckle up and we're going to get right at it. First up, we've got Poisoned Apple. It's a ruby red card. It costs 3. It's not inkable. It's an item, Mike's favorite card. It says, take a bite. It costs 1 resource. Banish this item. Exert chosen character. If a princess character is chosen, banish her instead.
This card's bad.
It's really expensive.
Yeah. If princesses are running the meta, this is probably decent because it's just a cheaper version of Dragonfire in that scenario. But in almost any other case, this is not a good card. It is not good to pay 4 to exert a character, especially when the card's uninkable.
Yeah.
Not loving it.
Great sideboard card if there's sideboard.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
All right.
I mean, even still is it, but I don't know.
Next up, we've got Ursula's Cauldron. It costs 2. It's a purple amethyst card. It's amethyst, right? I'm trying to learn the real names. It's an item. So again, not inkable. Peer into the depths. You exert it. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Put one on the top of your deck and the other on the bottom.
Another uninkable item.
The fact that it's in a color that wants to draw a lot of cards, though, means that you can actually like pick. So Scry actually is helpful, I guess, in that color. But
are you putting like this in your deck over other cards
that are uninkable?
Oh, typically no. I'm just trying to look at some positive like outskip.
Yeah, I can't imagine the deck that wants this, but if there is one, then it's probably fine in that deck.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we've got Sudden Chill. It's a green action, a song. It costs 2. It is inkable. Each opponent chooses and discards a card. Your great political card for multiplayer right there.
Or anti-political card. All of a sudden, everybody hates you.
Yeah,
exactly. In regular play, though, this seems... Generally, discard one or using a card to discard one card doesn't feel like it's that impactful unless it's like a situation where you're both in top deck mode and you're ahead on the board. So it just like keeps you ahead on the board. But I have seen some discarding from hand decks that have been pretty punishing. So maybe it's fine. It is a song, so it lets you sing. Plus, it pairs with other cards like Ursula's necklace or whatever and stuff. Like, they have song synergies. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this card.
In, like, top deck mode, though, I mean, they're drawing their one card, but then immediately playing it. So you're never actually getting to peel that card from them.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why I said that. So
and the fact that they get to choose makes this, like, if it was random, that would be a lot better to me.
Yeah.
I think it has its place. Like I think I played this against UJ in one game, and I think it felt pretty good in that scenario. I think if you're playing a deck that has card advantage and your opponent isn't, like if you're playing, I think I had this in green purple, and I knew I was going to be drawing a bunch of cards, and I also had a lot of 2-drops in that deck to be able to sing this, and it felt okay because I can play this and then just another turn play friends on the other side and get way ahead of my opponent. I think you want to play this like early if you're going to play it and try and run them out of options. A lot of times, like you end up with a really awkward hand where like maybe you only have 1 or 2 cards that you can ink, and then all the other cards you want to play. So I don't know. It gives your opponent a tough choice. I don't think it's like amazing or great, but I think it is situationally good. I think like in the right deck, I think it's okay. But this is probably like the worst card in one of those decks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have Lefou. We've got a ruby character, cost 2. He's inkable. He's a 2/2 with 1 lore pip. It says, fan the flame. When you play this character, ready chosen character, they can't quest for the rest of this turn. What do we think?
I think this is kind of good, actually. I haven't tried it yet, but I think the fact that like you're not really paying that much for the ability. You're paying like one willpower, like to have this ability, and it's like it's a pretty good ability. If there comes a time where there's like a red blue deck or a red something control deck that wants to like really protect like one thing, like this can come down and just ready it so that your opponent can't interact with it. I think like that's the value here.
I mean, even like a Mulan or an Aladdin who wants to be able to challenge a couple times to get value could be a thing. Yeah,
Mulan. That's pretty interesting. I might have to try that.
I mean, even early game, it can kind of do the same that people are using Simba for with the bodyguard, like on turn 2. Like if you have the generic 1/1 quest for 2, you can at least
come down,
keep it alive for an extra turn doing that.
Oh, you can ready. Oh, I guess. Yeah, you can ready an opponent's character. So if they have a bodyguard out that you can't get around,
that's a spicy interaction. That's so cool. That's awesome.
All right. Wow. Yeah. Speaking of big brain, we've got Hook.
Well,
cost 7 in red. Ruby. He's a 5/5 with 2 lore pips, a bunch of subtitles, but has rush keyword. And the abilities: you coward. When this character is exerted, opposing characters with evasive gain reckless. Very interesting ability, fairly unique, I think, that of what we've seen.
Yeah, pretty cool, like anti-evasive tech. If you feel like you need that in a deck, like it does work. It's pretty strong because it can immediately rush into the thing that just lost evasive, which is pretty cool. But 7 cost uninkable.
It gets evasive when this character is exerted. So you have to rush in and attack something else.
Got it. Yeah. So it doesn't.
So it keeps evasive. Yeah.
Never mind. I don't know why I was thinking that worked, but
in any case, it is. So like some characters say other characters get this while exerted, but this one's better because you can immediately exert it the turn you play it. Whereas other ones you have to like play it and the next turn do something with it.
And I think 5/5 is pretty good stats, especially if you're rushing into something. There's a lot of things you're killing that they're going to be very sad about.
It is uninkable.
Yeah, it costs 7. Yeah.
But it at least has 2 lore.
I haven't put this in very many of my red decks, but I have played it once. It felt pretty decent when I did.
When you played it against me, it affected me for sure. I don't remember what the situation was.
Yeah, I don't either.
But he feels pretty good.
All right. Moving on, we've got cut to the chase. We've got a red action, cost 2. It is inkable, and it says chosen character gains rush this turn. That's it. Seems bad.
Fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of wanted to try this in a deck with Mulan or something like that, where like maybe I'm playing red and purple together, and I have like 4 of these and 4 pocket watches, like just to make sure that I can get, give rush to the thing before. I don't know. It's probably bad.
4 of those and 4 pocket
If you're not playing purple,
it's probably a terrible
this
deck.
is fine, right? Like I don't think it's I don't think it's bad. Like it just isn't, I guess, as good as pocket watch.
The question is like, what are you rushing in?
Yeah.
Well, red has a ton of stuff that wants to fight.
Well, if you can't again, like Mulan or like you said, or
I think
Aladdin,
Mulan's
if you didn't shift.
Well, but then you're paying 9.
Yeah, I know. That's why I think it's bad.
Agreed.
Yeah, fair.
For one time, at least pocket watch sticks there. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right. We got another red action called Tingle. It's cost 2. It is inkable. It says each opponent loses 1 lore.
Another multiplayer card to make people hate you.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't ever think I play this card in a 1v1 ever.
No.
Doesn't seem that way.
Never. No. I don't think we need to say anything more about that.
Okay.
Seems bad. Just
speed round over here.
Bad.
All right. Unplayable. Welcome to our channel. All right.
Speaking of unplayable.
Speaking of unplayable, we've got our very own spoiler, guys, where we can give some more feedback on it. It's called He's Got a Sword. It costs 1. It's inkable. It's a red. It's an action that says chosen character gets +2 strength this turn. Wah, wah.
I mean, it's a
haven't played
situational 2 damage for 1, but
It
actions
still
need
has
to be
some of the
doing
best
more.
art in the set.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
We've all got swords.
But yeah, as a card, it's usually not very good value to
Slot this
pump
in.
one of your characters and then like you're spending a card for this.
Yeah.
I was playing the green version of this, the Vicious Betrayal, that gives +3 if it's a villain.
And it was still bad.
And I was running all villains, and it was still bad. I never wanted to play it, so I was like, okay.
It's like the difference in this game between other games is adding 2 extra damage is like getting you closer to your win condition, where this like the 1 for 2
Very true.
doesn't get you too closer to winning the game. It's just
Very true.
killing one more thing.
Yep.
Yep.
That's a great point.
All right, we've got the Sword of Truth, also our spoiler that we got to talk about. It's a 4-cost red item. Final enchantment: banish this item. Banish chosen villain character.
It's kind of like the Poison Apple, but I think a little bit better because I think there's more
villains?
villains. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's some villains that I think are staples that like this is pretty good against. So you got Hades, the blue one, great card. This is pretty nice to kill that. John Silver, that's another one that like you see pretty often. That's a villain that dies to this. None in Amber because there's just big Hades. Nobody plays that. And
I do.
I don't know. Dragon Maleficent maybe is another one.
I think this is a card
sense.
that, whereas Poison Apple, like when they get into movies like Toy Story and Monsters Inc. or whatever, like there's no princesses, but there's always villains in future sets.
True.
So this could, in future just be like, oh crap, this one villain is taken over the meta. Like, all right, everybody pulls out their Sword of Truth out of the binder, and it's something,
Mhm.
But
Dr. Facilier is a good target too.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, Ursula. If people play that, another one.
Yeah.
The fact that like you're going to be holding onto your villain in hand, and be like, well, this is what wins me the game, but the moment I play it, it dies.
Feels bad.
'Cause it doesn't cost anything to use the sword; it just has the upfront cost to play it down, and then you're making your opponent make bad decisions for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that is fun.
all right. Next up, we've got
Bell, I think. There
Bell.
it goes.
There it
Yeah,
is. It was
Bell.
taking a second. Bell, but internet about broke when this dropped. 4-cost blue inkable legendary people. Hello. She's a 2/4 with 1 lore pip with 2 abilities. Read a book. During your turn, you may put an additional card from your hand into your inkwell face down, which is very cool. And then my favorite part is her second ability. It says, while you have 10 or more cards in your inkwell, this character gets +4 lore pips, guys, which for the mathematicians at home, that's 5.
Thank you.
That's a lot.
I
mean,
that.
that's 1/4 of your win condition.
Yeah, that is a lot.
So you fit 4 bells into your deck. You play all 4 of them because you're drawing so much. You get them all out there, somehow protect them with all of the wards, and win the game OTK style.
Easy.
Cash money.
I think
And
this
it's too
card's
easy.
good. I think this card is
Yeah.
good. It just
Mhm.
goes in a specific deck.
Mhm.
I don't think you plop this into any blue deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've done that, and if you're playing too many uninkable cards, it's just like you're never gonna be able to like actually take advantage of the extra ink you get every turn. And then unless you're playing card draw, then you're not gonna have the cards to put down in your ink every turn.
Yeah, it's pretty
So-
hard to use that first ability, honestly.
Yes. You definitely play her for the second ability, which blue can pretty consistently get to 10 easily. So if you're playing against blue and you know they're going to get to 10, then you pretty much have to save your removal for this character, because as soon as they come in, 5 is just way too much. Like,
Yeah.
unless you're about to win or something, but they can easily, like, 5 is insane.
Yeah. 5's crazy, and you're questing all the way up to that point with the other cards that you play in your deck. So you're probably pretty close to winning at that point. That this would come down and have 5 anyway. I think you probably only play this with either Steel or Amethyst. Amethyst for the card draw, maybe Amber, because Amber has quite a bit of card draw as well, and Steel, because you can play it with a whole new world, and do shenanigans there. So I agree with Jay. I think this goes in a very specific deck that wants to use this as one of its win conditions. But I love that a card like this exists, and it feels a little bit like an alternate win condition. It's not, it's the same win condition, just like Quest, right? But it like encourages you to play the game slightly differently. I love cards like that in games,
especially when they're legendaries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she feels appropriately legendary to me.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, this is a favorite of mine. I don't know how to say. Is it Mother Gothel or Gothel or Gothel?
You never seen the movie? Even I know that.
No, I definitely have. We've watched it many times, but I've never heard her name. I just heard it as like Mother.
Yeah.
But anyways, we've got a green 6-cost character. She is inkable. She's a 3/6 with 2 lore pips. She's a villain, and I love the name of this ability. Skip the drama, stay with mama. While this character is exerted, opposing characters can't quest. I love this card. The control that it offers is very good. In fact, I had one game where I had 2 of these, and I, to a certain level, locked out. I came back from he was, my opponent was at 17. I think I was at like 6 or 7, and came back and won because they just couldn't deal with 2 of these with some bodyguards too. So I'm a big fan.
Yep. This is definitely go wide tech. So like if your opponent is going wide and just trying to quest with all their characters, this destroys that deck, because now they either don't quest or they have to attack into this, and normally they're all 3 health or lower, so it's just like they're all getting defeated every time, or banished every time they attack into her. So you're like wiping their board. I also like this card a lot. I play this in all of my green decks, especially since she's inkable. I don't always play her. She doesn't always feel like she's relevant. She does hit ink, or hit my inkwell a decent amount, but when she does feel impactful, she feels impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If ever there's a time to try to make cut to the chase work, to end game, plop this down, exert it by firing into your little 1/1, maybe possibly in Magic Dreamland.
That's interesting.
It's a fantastic card.
All right. I think we have our first completely unplayable card of Lorcana. Namesake, called Work Together. It's 1 cost, inkable blue action. It says chosen character gains support this turn. Hey, Jim, why is this so unplayable?
Because it's an action that costs 1.
Because there's the scepter.
And
because the scepter is strictly better.
You texted us at like 6 a.m. about this.
I was heated, y'all. I was like, why would you have this as an action? And Mike has his like 5-point plan for why it's actually an not okay card, but okay design for a card.
Yeah. Like, so the premise was basically this is better, or at least like justifiable, if your deck wants to play actions versus play items. Like if you're playing some kind of like blue-green thing that cares a lot about actions, like maybe this is better. And the other is maybe you want both. You probably don't, but maybe you do.
Nah. Actually, I think your first reason that it was fine is because it was in a different color, and then we made fun of you.
You're right.
Did I really think it was a different color? I thought Work Together was green or something like that.
Yeah.
Trash tier.
Support is a great keyword for what it's worth. Like that Maximus card that has bodyguard and support, the fact that you can like use both of its like questing ability and get its attack somewhere else, like it's a really good keyword. I like it a lot better than most of the other ones.
So someone's in the comments right now like, let me tell you that's better.
Yes, please.
We're gonna move on.
Give me a full paper about it.
All right, we got Jasmine. We got a blue character. She costs 5. She's inkable. She's a 2/5 with 2 lore pips. She's shift 3, and an ability called Caretaker. When you play this character and whenever she quests, you may remove up to 2 damage from each of your characters.
Kind of mid.
The probably worst Floodborn.
The most boring, I would say.
Yeah, she's
boring for
not
sure.
interesting, and also, unless you're playing a princess deck, she's just not that good.
I was using it in Blue Steel for a little bit, just for the Shift 3 ability, and then to be able to sing the 5-cost songs, which felt okay, because I had a lot of cards that were wanting to fight in.
Mm-hmm.
But
Sure.
it was mostly for the Shift ability and the fact that it's a 5-cost, so it can do or sing Let It Go or A Whole New World, which I now no longer think A Whole New World's amazing, but we'll see.
There's two things that I like about it. One is that you can, well, okay, there's one thing that I like about it actually, which is that you could play this on top of Jasmine that has damage on her and heal, like she can heal herself.
Mm-hmm.
So that could sometimes be relevant and interesting occasionally. But what I think we probably actually need for this to be more interesting is a Jasmine that costs less than 3.
Yeah.
It feels weird to pay 3 for the same character, like to upgrade that character. It's a little bit of an upgrade for sure.
So you actually can't even shift this on turn 3 right now.
No, you can't.
Trash.
Yeah.
Is the only Jasmine the 3-cost?
Yeah.
Yep. So if we get like a 1-cost Jasmine or something like that, like 1 or 2-cost Jasmine in a future set, I think this becomes a lot more interesting.
Okay, so is there a way, like, is there a god draw that you could get that by turn 4 you would have played almost all your cards and like ramped a bunch, and then
So
turn
that you
4
can-
be able to put this in, and then a whole new world on turn
Probably.
4 and like wreck your opponent's hand?
Probably.
And that would be the only way that I would see this being interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure you could also do that with like 3-cost aerial or like any other.
Yeah, and 3-cost aerials finds the song for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Moving on. We got a spicy Dr. Facilier.
We got a banger right here.
Yeah.
Dr.
Absolute banger.
Facilier. He costs 7, not inkable. He's a 4/5 with 3 lore pips and villain and shift 5. We've got some Faciliers that tend to see the board. Into the shadows. Whenever one of your other characters is banished in a challenge, you may return that card to your hand, and that's in both sides. If you're challenging, if they're challenging, it's
Card is so good.
It's Sorcerer Mickey, except not just brooms. It's any character that you have.
Yeah.
You don't get to
Infinitely
play them for less. Like the brooms, you get to play for 1 or 2 or 0 if you have 2 Mickeys out. But still, so good. Like this, I love this card, and I love that he's good because I like this character, and I like playing the other 2 Dr. Faciliers as well. So yeah, I think this dude's a boss.
Yeah, one of the best purple cards for sure. Like top 3 purple cards easily, in my opinion. 3 lore is huge, especially like just shift on turn 5 and quest for 3 is like massive. And then threatening to bounce, like to trade your board with theirs and bounce all your cards back to your hand, and all of a sudden you basically just drew 3 cards, or however many cards you ran in. 4 or 5 stats is like fine for 5. I think. I mean, even playing this for 7, I have done that, and it doesn't feel bad because you're often getting value out of the ability of the turn that you play it, and 3 lore is a lot to deal with.
It gets around Cusco's banish when you have to swing into him because he's got ward. Gets around Cheshire Cat's banish. I mean, it's just all positives. I like this guy.
Yeah, great card. And the 2 cheaper Dr. Faciliers are very playable. So makes this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with how playable they are, do you put 4 of these in your deck, or
I do?
I put all 3 of them
12.
4-0s.
12 Faciliers.
Dang, that's just all your purple.
All right, next up.
You definitely have 16 purple because you got to also play Friends on the other side.
Of course, yeah.
Which is also a Dr. Facilier card anyway.
Yeah, just all his cards are gas.
All right, we've got Cinderella. I feel like Cinderella is pretty underrepresented in this first chapter.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
Yeah,
for someone so iconic to
there's also no Snow White.
There's no Snow White. There's no 7 Dwarves.
a good
And
point.
there's 3 Dr. Faciliers in all his cards, but there's
And
no
no
Tiana.
Yeah, what the heck?
That's a good point.
I am so curious about. Yeah, I can't wait to see stuff for set 2, but we're not
Same.
there yet. Set 1, Cinderella, cost 4. It's
Game's
yellow.
not even out yet.
It's Gamboge, cost 4. It's Inkable, 2/5, and no reaction. Okay, all right. 2/5 with 2 lore pips. She's got Singer 5 and a Wonderful Dream. Exert her to remove up to 3 damage from chosen princess character. And she's a princess herself, clearly.
The exert is trash, but
Yeah.
everything else about her is fine for a princess character. Like, you play this in your Moana's decks, I feel like, for sure. 5 health is legit. 2 sucks, but you're questing for 2 with her or singing for 5 with her, so
Yeah.
The
And
more
she's
I play
incredible.
the more I play the game, the more I care about the health.
Yeah.
On a character. It's I think early
High
on
health,
I
high
underestimated
lore.
it, but like
Yeah, I know.
the
Yeah,
more
high health,
if
high
I
lore
see
is
if
the
I
name
see
of the
something
game.
in the 5 range, like we'll talk about one later where I'm like it looks kind of bad, but it fit into a slot where I was like, I like the health, but we'll get to that later. Next up we have Mad Hatter, 5 cost, inkable green character. He's a 2/4 with 3 lore pips. And an ability, Tea Party. Whenever this character is challenged, you may draw a card. What's not to love about the Mad Hatter?
I
He's
read this
awesome.
card wrong the first time I read it, and I just
You did.
assumed it was like all the other green cards that, like, when you challenge and banish it, you get a benefit. So I thought this had to be challenged and banished for you to draw a card, but it's just anytime it's challenged, you draw a card, which is way better. I think it's cool. It's not as good as Cusco, but card draw is nice. 3 lore is nice.
There's
It's
there's
inkable.
so much lore pips on
So,
the green cards. Oh my
There,
gosh.
yeah. Mm.
it's same stats as Cusco, except he's inkable and has a different ability.
Yeah.
Very
He's
similar. Clearly
Yeah.
way worse than Cusco, but I still play this guy in my decks.
Same.
Because 3 lore on a 5 cost is just like gas.
Yeah.
And whenever they attack into it, you get to just replace the card with. So it feels really good.
Yeah.
I have not once gotten a card draw off of this though, and I've played probably like 30 games with him. No one ever attacks into him. Either they like Dragonfire or double fire the cannons or some kind of shenanigans to get him off the board.
The funny thing is that like he's a magnet for that because they can't do that against Cusco, so it's just sitting in their hand.
Yeah.
So you're just like offering this up as a target, which maybe is good, maybe is bad.
It's pretty crazy because stuff like this, like there are so many moments where I've got 3 characters in green that can quest for 8 or 9.
3. Yeah.
You know, just sitting there as a threat. Like, okay, I hope you have some good stuff because I could just win next round at 11 lore or whatever.
Yeah, green is fast becoming my favorite color.
Oh yeah,
it has been my favorite color for a while, for sure.
It's so good.
That they knew it. That's why they didn't give us any. All right, Steal from the Rich. It's a 5 cost green action. It's not inkable. Not a song. It just says whenever one of your characters quest this turn, each opponent loses 1 lore. So both the multiplayer card, but also I think might have a place in some regular one-on-ones.
At 5 though, ugh, that's expensive.
The first time I read this card, I thought it was an item. And then I don't know why. I guess because it's a treasure.
Like it should be an
it's
item.
a treasure chest, so it made me think it was an item. That would be so much better. But I think it's fine. I mean, like, if you're in the right situation, it can definitely win you the game.
Yeah. If you're matched up against like a race, like if you're racing your opponent, you've got some stuff on the board, they've got some stuff on the board. Neither of you want to actually challenge each other. You just want to quest out. Like this is backbreaking.
Yeah.
And we haven't talked about Big Genie yet, but Big Genie has a way to play 5 costs or less actions in green for free. Although you have to quest with them first, or, so it is a little weird. But in my head, I was thinking, I wonder if there's a Genie stealing deck out there.
How much lore do you think you have to drain from your opponent for this to be worthwhile?
Oh, that's a good question.
Enough to keep them from winning
3.
the game.
Well,
yeah,
sure.
It seems like the developers value it as, because if that one tangled or whatever, it's the 2 for 1.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's at least in their heads. That's what it.
So you need 2.5.
But
3 because it's uninkable.
But then
True.
you've
The other one's
got
inkable.
There you go.
the Steel Hans that does just one. I don't know.
Well, you got Aladdin.
So the reason
that
I just-
steals 2. And he costs 7.
And
It's
green
gonna be
is
tough for me to think. Oh gosh, I don't think this card's playable.
I don't think it's
honestly.
very good either.
I just think it's the definition of a win.
It's a
more
win more
card.
card, yeah.
100%. Like if you have 3 cards out and you're questing with them, you're probably already winning the game anyway. So it's like, I don't know. I'd almost rather just have a card that I could ink like Mad Hatter for 5 and just play it down to keep that train rolling.
It might be a win more card, but it's specifically even better in green because all of a lot of the green characters do something on quest, or they keep your opponent from doing something while they're exerted, or if you attack into them, you get something. So I think it's even better in green.
I just feel like I'd rather use the cards that just don't let your opponent's quest anyway. Like to me, that feels more beneficial than
Yeah, it's
like
when
having this take up a slot in your deck.
when I've looked at almost putting this in a deck, it just becomes really hard to justify the slot.
Mm-hmm. The
of,
unequal slot.
Yeah. It's a 5 cost uninkable card. If you can't play 4 of these, I feel like.
No.
And if you're playing less than that, what's the point?
You just don't play any of them.
Yeah.
All right. We got to keep going. We have so many. Next up, we've got Captain. He's a red character. Cost 5. He's inkable. He's a 6/5 and with 1 lore pip. Vanilla.
Cool.
1 lore is trash. Other stats are fine.
Great.
They're actually good stats, actually.
Speaking of vanilla, then for 1 more, you can pay 6 and get a Stitch. He's also inkable. He's a 4/6 with 3 lore pips.
Way
infinitely better.
Yeah. Significantly better. I didn't realize he's a rare.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
He's good stats. I mean,
yeah, no, he does have very good stats. Like 3 lores, like I want 3 lore on every character I play. I know I'm not going to get it, but I want it. And
eventually,
like if he doesn't die very easily, he's inkable. I like it.
Are there any
but...
red characters besides BLT that has 3 lore in red?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So there's your reason to play them. When you look at green and blue that have tons of 3 lore characters.
Yeah. So I guess if you're playing red with something that's not green or blue.
Yeah.
The fact that this is a vanilla card, but its entire box is filled up with flavor text is killing me.
It is pretty great, actually.
All right. Next up, we've got the old shield. Shield of Virtue. There it is. Cost 1. It's inkable. It's an item with fireproof. You can exert, pay 3 resources. Ready, chosen character. They can't quest for the rest of this turn.
I think this is spicy.
I like that as a 1 investment. It only costs you 1 to get them on the board, and then in the future you spend 3 if you need to use it. Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
It's inkable. Always
it is inkable.
So you can just play 1 and then ink all the rest. That's kind of nice. I think at the point in the game in which you'd want to like use the ability, you probably have 3 resources available. Yeah. So I don't think that's too big of a cost. I played an item deck, obviously, that had this in it, and it didn't quite get going, but I want to try it again because I think like it's possible to, play Ariel and, quest for however much you're going to quest for, and then at the end play 3 to ready her so that she can't be attacked and do it again the next turn. So, yeah.
I was thinking it doesn't need to go strictly in an item deck. Like it is just the amount of games that I've gotten to like 15. I have 1 character out. I try to quest with it. They kill it. And then I hope to draw the one that'll get me to 20. It's like I can just ready my creature with 3 lore and not have to hope to draw a better card at the end. So it just kind of helps dummy proof the end game a lot too, which is cool.
And it's another one that, like Jay said before with the Lefou, that you can big brain readying your opponent's bodyguard.
Yep.
All right.
It's really it's really good with Cusco too, because like if you ready Cusco, he has ward and they just can't do anything to your Cusco all game. You just quest for 3, ready him, play something with the rest of your ink, and then you just have infinitely 3 lore on the table.
I got to try that.
All right, next up we got everybody's favorite grandma, Grandma Tala. Seeing this everywhere now. We're going to be talking about grandma for a long time. She costs 2. She's inkable. Again, blue. It's a 1/1 with 1 lore and this ability that says, I'll be with you. When this character is banished, you may put this card into your inkwell face down and exerted. This is so good. It doesn't look like it if you're a new player, but this the ramp that this makes available, or even just being able to respond to like a purple 1-drop Maleficent and say, you can quest and then I'm going to get this really valuable trade. It's just amazing. I don't know what else to say.
I have a bit of a hot take.
You think it's trash?
I don't think it's trash, but I think it's overrated. I think the fact that the sort of ramp is delayed can feel really awkward. And I think the only reason why it's so good is because you can play 12 ramp cards in your deck with this in the card pool. I think as more cards come out that allow you to ramp early game, like I think this might fall off a little bit.
I think she's pretty good. I think I like her because she's inkable. So now if I want to run 8 ramp cards in my deck, which is what I do, I can run 4 of these and then just go down to 2 Mickeys and 2 1-jumps. So I don't have to worry about drawing them and not being able to ink them later. So that's what I like about her is it replaces some stuff, uninkable garbage for me.
Yeah, I think I like her better than Mickey, typically. So
interesting. Hot take.
Yeah,
hot take.
But Mickey can sing those 3-cost songs, so I don't know.
Grandma can sing 1 jump ahead though.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is kind of what you're trying to do in the early game anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, like like if you draw the nuts and you draw Mickey, Tala, and 1 jump ahead. Turn 2, you play her. Turn 3, you sing 1 jump ahead and play Mickey.
You got the gas.
Now you're feeling good, but
got the gas.
Yeah.
All right, we got to keep going. Mufasa, 6-cost inkable blue character. He's a 4/6 with 3 lore pips again.
Where have I seen this card?
How weird is it that this is a common card and it is stat for stat exactly the same as Stitch at rare?
It's rare Stitch.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
That's weird.
Don't know.
Stitch is a hero and Mufasa is not. So maybe they're going to do a hero thing.
Maybe.
Because Mufasa is playable in blue, in my opinion, where I don't think Stitch is as playable in red. Like, I'm totally fine throwing just a big body on a board in blue and reaping to victory. But I don't know, red, that feels a little bit more clunky.
All right, let's keep going.
All right.
What we got next? Mike is clicking through.
We got Magic Golden Flower next.
Magic Golden Flower, cost 1, inkable item, blue, healing pollen. Banish this item, remove up to 3 damage from chosen character. So similar to the shield, you can bank it for later and let it sit there until you actually need it.
I think it's probably only good in an item deck, and that's it.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got Simba, another Simba. It's 5-cost steel, not inkable. He's a 3/5 with 2 lore pips and an ability. I know what I have to do during your turn. Whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you gain 1 lore. I love effects that reward you for challenging. I think that's cool space.
Yep,
I agree. He's uninkable though.
Yeah,
it is rough in steel.
Yeah,
when you already want to play a bunch of unequal cards in steel.
And ironically, he doesn't steal the lore like Aladdin does.
In red, I could see it being pretty good though. Like you can ready him to like be able to fight twice. You can pair him with Mulan, who's also trying to attack in and kind of do some stuff there. I don't know. I think there's some flexibility to make it all right.
That's an interesting idea.
Keep in mind, we're addressing this with a primarily constructed viewpoint, but in limited,
Oh yeah,
At some
absolute
point, we
bomb.
might have to go back and reevaluate like some of the because I feel like Simba in that setting is very good in
Yeah.
limited when you're not really as worried about your competition in the uninkable slot. But
Yeah, I built a steel amethyst deck around Teka, which I think we probably will see later. I don't remember if we talked about that already or not.
No,
but
we haven't yet.
okay, it has a very similar ability, and just having like another character that has a similar ability that rewards you for, uh, you know, challenging instead of anything else, I think just like adds to that sort of deck idea. So
Yeah.
I like it.
I think it's really good with Shield of Virtue, because like
Mm-hmm.
the idea of Shield of Virtue and all these cards are like ready, they can't quest, is so that you can't quest with the same person twice in a turn to like pop off floor and win. But these let you do that essentially, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that is really cool. I got to try it with red next.
all right, next up we've got Ransack. It's a steel action. It costs 2. It's inkable, and it says draw 2 cards, then choose and discard 2 cards.
I think this card's
Lets me
really
play
bad.
I think
It's
It lets you play
negative
more
steel.
uninkable cards, and that's about it.
It's negative card advantage. Like you're
Mhm.
losing a card to cycle 2 cards through your deck. Like
Yeah.
if you're playing a very specific combo deck where all you care about is like getting to your combo piece, cool. Maybe this is playable, but I think outside of that, I cannot imagine wanting this in the deck.
Yeah, I think it's pretty bad too.
Okay, moving
Agreed.
on. We've got Mr. Smee. I just love this. We've got a yellow 3 cost inkable 2/5 with 1 lore vanilla.
At 5 health, that's
Good
interesting.
stats, but
So
Yeah.
this is the one I alluded to earlier that the 5 health actually convinced me to drop a couple of these in a yellow green deck where the health there wasn't a lot of good options at 3 that are inkable. Like there's the Cheshire Cat if you're competing with green, but in yellow, there just wasn't anything competing. I was like, well, this will at least stick to the board and give me a threat with 2. So I kept it in there because it's probably going to survive a couple turns. So I don't know.
One lore is trash though.
Oh,
If-
100%.
If in the future we have some kind of pirate synergy, I could see it being good because it does have good like
Or
like
ally.
yeah, pirate or ally because it can stick around for a little while. So if you're getting some kind of passive benefit from somewhere, then makes something like that a little bit better. But I don't know, it's kind of boring.
Oh, yeah.
Next one.
Speaking of boring, we got Pumbaa, which is really sad. Another yellow 4 cost inkable 3/5 with 1 lore pip.
So
You're paying 1 more to get 1
it's
more
just
power.
one strength. Seems terrible.
not it for me.
I'm pretty upset that Timon and Pumbaa are pretty just bad in this.
Isn't
And there's nothing to combine with them together. Like
Cinderella is in this color and she's 4 with she's a 2/5.
She's a 2/5 with
but
2
she has
lore.
2 lore.
And Singer
That's-
5.
Yeah, and an ability.
Yeah.
Even if it's irrelevant, she has an ability. Pumbaa is just way worse than that.
Mm-hmm.
like what a
And
missed
she's a princess.
opportunity. Like they
Yeah.
just had to come up with something to put them together, and I don't know.
Yeah.
More
In the
Lion King
future,
cards. We've got You Have Forgotten Me. This is an interesting card. I'm excited to talk about this. Cost 4, inkable. Each opponent chooses and discards 2 cards. 2. So we had the 2
Brutal.
cost song
Yeah.
earlier. You could for 1 card. This is cost 4 for 2 cards.
Way better.
Yeah, I agree.
Brutal, in
Yeah.
fact. Brutal.
And on turn 4 is kind of the sweet spot to be playing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you're
inkable.
starting to get
Like-
low on cards at that point.
Yep.
Yeah, and inkable.
Yeah.
It is card advantage now where you're not losing a card and your opponent's also losing a card, which is what the previous card was. Now you're losing 1 card, but they're losing 2 cards. So you get to, be ahead on total cards, which is
Yep.
real nice. And
I
you can
gotta-
ruin
I
their
gotta-
plans.
I got a rage quit on Pixelborn after I played this card.
I
Believe
think
it.
that card is gonna result in a lot of rage quits. Like I think discard as a mechanic in card games is like it kind of always just feels a little bit dirty and is kind of tilting. So I think that might be one of the more tilting cards in this game that exist, especially
Yeah.
due to how like precious cards feel. Getting stripped
Yeah.
of those cards feels real bad.
truly turn 4, turn 5, like that is right where you're about to do what your deck's wanting to be doing, as far as like you're finally going to be able to play that card that you've been ramping up to, or that
You're
Moana
playing,
that you've been excited about, and now you just have to discard it and go to top deck mode.
you're playing some kind of like Bell combo deck, and you ramp your entire hand away, and all you have left in your hand is a whole new world, and then your opponent plays this and you lose it.
Yep.
How bad does that feel?
That's real. It happens.
Yeah, that's good. All right, we got another Dr. Facilier, another purple 3-cost character, Inkable. He's a 2/4 with 1 lore pip, another villain, and Dreams Made Real. Whenever you play a song, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one on the top of your deck and the other on the bottom. Before we talk about this, rules clarification. Does this happen before the effect of the song
After.
or after?
After.
Okay. And we're sure about that? Or is that just
Yes.
the internet?
We are sure about
Okay.
Like 95% sure.
it.
That's a Florida 100% where Jay lives. So,
Oh my gosh.
because obviously this is a great candidate for a friends to be able to be like, oh, I'm going to draw 2 cards, but
Before I get to try, I look at the top 2 cards. That would make a lot more sense. That is how I thought it worked before I was corrected.
yeah.
It's just way more intuitive that way, but I don't know. I get it. I've played card games before. I know whenever usually means after, but I don't know. It just felt kind of weird.
True.
So,
But beyond that, I think this is a great. Obviously, we saw the 7-cost shift Facilier, another target for that. Feels strong to drop this at 3. I don't have any.
yeah, decent stats.
Yeah.
It's got a relevant ability.
And it doesn't even have to be when you sing a song either. It's just whenever you play a song. So,
Mhm.
Yep.
Which is sweet because, like, if you're playing Let It Go or Swords or any amount of songs that are playable in this game, which there's a lot, it's just lets you scry too, which is sweet.
Yeah.
All right, we've got the Queen, 5-cost inkable purple character, 4/5 with 1 lore pip with an ability called I Summon Thee. You can exert her to draw a card.
I have super mixed feelings about this card.
Yeah, me too.
I played it in one deck, and I'm pretty sure I inked it.
Same.
But just the prospect of infinite card draw is so enticing.
It's not infinite though if they destroy her.
Well, yeah, but I'm living in magical Christmas land in my head, and they have no answer.
But do they go after
feel
a creature with 1 lore pip?
1 lore pip?
like
I have no idea.
And getting hit back for 4?
I think this is probably really good in a control mirror, and probably really bad anywhere else, because you're not really getting that much value for your 5 ink right away. So
It's better than Magic Mirror.
much better than Magic Mirror.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, I'm looking at purple red. Let me do the sword or the shield.
Maybe this
Keep
fits
on
into that
readying.
deck.
Draw 2.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not terrible.
true. Like it just says you can't quest, so you can
Mm-hmm.
use her to.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, we'll see.
Or Lefou, like
Right.
play Lefou and yeah.
Draw 2 cards.
Mhm.
Ooh, we're unlocking the
This
deck.
deck is building itself.
Building the deck, yeah.
Spicy.
All right. We've got a legendary, people. We've got Ursula, 7-cost, not inkable. She's a 2/8 with 3 lore pips. An ability called It's Too Easy. When you play this character, each opponent loses 1 lore. You may draw a card for each 1 lore lost this way. I mean, I just can't wait to play a multiplayer game against you guys.
The ultimate.
We're all going to be
multiplayer
playing
card.
this card.
Just, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's just 4 purple
Auto
decks.
play purple.
Outside of
You guys ever play
multiplayer,
this 1v1 or no?
Jay has before.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think she's good.
I think she's fine.
And she sticks on the board at 8 health.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she
She's-
gives you a card, and your opponent loses a lore, and she's questing for 3.
I think it's totally playable. Yeah.
Yeah.
She has very good stats.
Interesting.
Very good stats.
I just see every opponent or each opponent. I'm like, oh, that's just for multiplayer. So it's hard for me to think like, even if it's just it's 1, is it good?
I think
I
it's
think
still
it is.
decent. Yeah. The rough part is that she's uninkable. If she was inkable, she'd just be like absolute auto include probably. But 7 cost is a lot for an uninkable that I don't know. She is good. She has an ability
Facilier
that's
is
relevant.
uninkable at 7.
Yeah, but Facilier you play on 5, so it's a little
Not
different.
always.
But you can.
Yeah.
And you draw more cards off of Facilier probably than this.
You get cards back, you mean?
Sure, yeah.
I
I think
she's
Facilier
really
is at least twice as good as Ursula.
No, not that much
Wow.
better. No, he probably really is. Yeah. No, he is a lot better than her. But I think she's still really good.
I think she's still good too.
But the difference is Facilier quests one time and is probably dead by the next time you get around.
5's still a lot.
Do you quest? You don't have
but
to
that's
quest.
like
And you
that's
don't have to
typically
quest
like
with them either.
2 characters. You don't have to. Sure, you don't have to. But
You just-
but if Ursula quests,
Yeah.
I mean, are
think
you
that-
really going to?
I do think she's good. Like, I just think Facilier is better.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with
And if you are strapped,
that. He's got shift.
for
How could he not be better?
exactly
Right.
if you're strapped for uninkable cards in your deck and you don't want to play both of these, I probably choose Facilier unless I'm not playing the cheaper ones.
Just wait till we get the 10 cost Ursula in the next set that shifts onto this one.
Sounds great.
Quest for 8.
You
All
let
right.
me know how the deck works.
All right, we've got freeze. It's a 2 cost purple action, not inkable. Exert chosen opposing character. What do y'all think about that? I've seen a lot of discussion about this online.
Exert's not bad.
I don't know. I think it's fine. You have to have something on board already that can capitalize on it. So that makes me like it less.
It's uninkable.
Yeah, it's
How
uninkable.
about all the rush? All the rush characters of. We lost Jim. All the rush characters of purple. Feels like there's quite a few.
I like it better on Elsa for 1 cost more, and you can keep doing it every turn.
But you can't do it on the turn she's played. So if
No.
you've got a problem character that's come down.
I don't know. Paint me like best case scenario for this card.
Like endgame, when they're like, "Oh, I'm going to sit here. You can't do anything about this because I'm at 17. I just played this Moana, and I'm going to quest for 3, and you can't do anything about it." You exert it, and you can actually do something about it. Like I think that's the. If you're not running like damage out of hand, like how are you? And you're not running like red or green. So if you're not running red, green, steel.
Then what are you doing with your life?
So
You're-
No, I don't
you're-
know. I think I'm so bored by that card. Like, are you playing this over other uninkable cards, especially if you want to play it late?
no, absolutely not. But to your point about Elsa, the reason this is better than Elsa is because your opponent doesn't know it's coming.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think this card and in the end game can be very, very strong. If it's a good back and forth.
I think it's kind of trash.
I feel like there's just better cards that do the same
If
thing.
it was inkable,
Not in purple.
But you're not only playing purple. Like, if you need this
Yeah.
kind of effect, like what deck are you playing where you don't get something, like you don't get access to something that is probably better than this?
All right, so like what would you do if you're running purple yellow?
You're probably ahead and you don't need this.
Okay.
okay. Here's
All right,
a
we gotta keep
situation
going.
for you.
We got to
Is-
keep going.
You're playing You have Dr. Facilier on board, but your opponent doesn't want to exhaust any of their characters, so you get your guys back. You can exert someone and attack into it and get your guy back.
Like, yes, there are situations where this card could be good, but
You
don't
said
think.
paint the scenario. That's the scenario, Mike. Don't
Right,
ask for it and
But
spit it
those
back
aren't
out.
going to come up often enough for me to want to put this in my deck.
Okay. Well, you can give me yours when you pull them.
I
figure
will. You can
Okay.
take them all.
But
in 4 days.
look at this card compared to the apple that you have to pay 3 to put it down and then pay 1 and banish it to exert a single character.
Yep.
Unless it's a princess.
Yeah,
this
much
is way better
than
than
that
that.
card. Agreed.
Yeah. All right. This will be fun. Genie. We've got an 8-cost non-inkable green character. Another Genie, guys. He's a 3/5 with 3 lore pips with shift 6, evasive, and an ability called phenomenal cosmic power. I just realized they have the Flotsam Jetsam ability listed on Lorcania on accident.
Oh, that's funny.
Phenomenal cosmic power. Whenever this character quests, you may play an action would cost 5 or less for free.
Jay, you've played this card. I think you're probably the only one that has.
I've played it a decent amount. Now I was this close to making him actually decent, and then it got ruined. So I haven't actually been able to make his 5 costs for free work because I think it's in a video, so you guys will probably see it at some point. I had a dragon fire in hand, and then was able to do something, but then I didn't get to do it because you'd have to watch it. But
yeah,
it seems bad. Like this guy's not that good.
Yeah,
I played him with
agree.
both of the other genies too, and it's like, I don't know, just brutal.
Yeah, at 6, I just want the other genie so much more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Too much has to line up for that second ability to be really good.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the evasive, most of the cost is on that, it feels like. Like, they're really valuing evasive on here, where, like, we just don't seem to really care for it as much.
Yeah.
I like the idea of if you can abuse those high cost of it, like the dragon fires. Like, if they release more of those that are extremely powerful, maybe this grows in power. But you are paying a lot to do this, so.
Yeah. I think Dragonfire is probably the best target for that ability, because the rest of the cards that you probably want to do with this are songs anyway.
Or the yellow discard too, the You've Forgotten Me.
Sure.
Yeah. At least you get to quest, like you get the 3 lore for questing and get to play the song. Because that's where this is better.
Imagine it was an item that cost 5 or less for free. It'd still be trash.
Mike would be so happy.
All right, we've got Tamatoa, 2-cost green character. He is inkable. He's a 1/4 with 1 lore pip, vanilla.
The best part of this card is that it's when he's a drab little crab, because in the song he says, "I was a drab little crab once." Next card.
This was that once.
So bad of a card.
Yeah, not great. All right, we've got Tinkerbell, and we got another Tinkerbell. This is not Tinkerboom. This is just Tinkerbell, guys. Cost 4. Inkable. Green. 2/3 with 2 lore pips and evasive, and an ability called Pixie Dust. When you play this character, chosen character gains evasive this turn. So, so this is a little bit different than like Pongo. Pongo is a 4/3/2. She's a 4/2/3.
No, they're both 4/2/3s with 2. They're exactly the same, except she has an ability.
Yep.
Promise you, because I had this discussion with Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So she's a little bit better than Pongo, and I play Pongo in a lot of red decks. So,
but do you play Tinkerbell in your green decks?
I don't think so. There's too many other good green cards. I probably would rather play Hans than this, because it has 3 lore on it. It is
maybe.
It is an interesting thought, though. Like, is evasive and 2 lore better than just 3 lore?
That's a good question. If you have no evasion control, then she gets better. 1, because she can do it, and 2, because she can give someone else evasive so that you can swing into their evasive characters.
Right.
Basically, that's what her ability is. Attack a evasive character with another one of your characters, because that's the only use of getting evasion for your turn only, which is cool. But I actually like her. I think she's good. I just don't put her in my decks because there's so many other green cards that I'm playing.
Yeah.
So Cabled, our good moderator, Discord mod, he tweeted. He said, "Put this Tinkerbell in every green deck," and
she's good.
It made me go back and like, okay, I trust his opinion.
I might try this over Hans and just see how it feels.
I don't play Hans, so I can't replace Hans with her. But I think she's good. I mean, if you play Pongo, it's the same thing. So
yeah,
I mean, she's good.
It might, like, the green decks that I've been building just want other things, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but now you really get to mess with Pascal's all over the board.
That's true.
All right, we've got more Facilier stuff. We got Dr. Facilier's cards cost 2, not inkable. It's an item. Green. The cards will tell you may pay 1 less resource, ink, whatever, for the next action you play this turn.
Right now it's bad, but I'm really hoping this gets really good at some point. If there's a even right now, just thinking about like situations, if you have like 3 of these on board, and then you can use you could play a do it again for free and get a song that you then play for free because you're singing it with the character. You're playing 2 cards for free essentially, and if you have Big Mickey out, then you're keeping 2 other people from questing the following turn. It's pretty fun. I just don't think there's enough action cards yet. But green is that synergy of like having a bunch of action cards.
Yeah,
You can play work together for free, so I think this is probably one of the best cards in the game.
we love support.
All right, we've got Maui, 5-cost inkable red character with 6/5. And guys, there must be a mistake. There's no lore on this guy.
Where'd it go?
Nothing. But he does have Rush and he does have Reckless.
Those stats are fire. And if you think about it, he has 6 and comes out at 5, so he just defeats Moana's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah,
And
I think
it's very healthy still.
he's really good. I think
Yeah.
like it's inkable, whereas Dragonfire's not. And it hits a lot of things that you would want to hit with Dragonfire. The downside is that it can't hit things that are not exerted, which Dragonfire
or the
can.
same turn.
Yeah. So this is I think a very good card, but there are reasons why you might play Dragonfire instead.
Where I was struggling with playing Gaston, the 2-cost with Reckless, this one makes up for it because of Rush by leaps and
Rush
bounds.
is so good.
Oh yeah, it does have Rush. I forgot about that.
So it's like turn 1, 6
it can
damage
hit
to a
something
creature.
the turn you play it.
It's so sick.
I was mistaken. Yeah, it seems good.
Speaking of the other Moana with 6 health, we've got 5-cost inkable Moana in red. She's a 2/6 with 2 lore pips. She is a princess, but an ability called This Is Not Who You Are. When you play this character, you may banish chosen character named Teka.
That is so weirdly specific.
It's all about the
very,
theme.
very thematic.
This is just
yeah.
a very...
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that it exists. I feel bad for Teka because if it becomes any good at all, like this card is just the bane of its existence, which is kind of weird, but I get it. Stats are fine. I don't know. Not really exciting.
The fact that Blue Maleficent is the 5-cost 3/6 for 3 lore. This is 1 less power, 1 less quest.
For an ability that's blank most of the time.
I think it's terrible.
It's a different color. It's a different color.
Different
so I think we have to start taking that into account.
And it's princess, so fine, but...
All right, Peter Pan, cost 3, not inkable, red character. He's a 3/2 with 1 lore pip and Rush.
So this is what you want to play with that Tinkerbell, right?
No.
Tinkerbell gives this evasive and Rush. Oh, no.
And look at Rafiki. Rafiki's 3/3.
Obviously worse than Rafiki, but...
Like, what are they doing here, coach?
Seems bad.
But yeah, you're right. This is what you play with that Tinkerbell.
Like that's where the synergy is, but it's not great.
Why does it feel like red is just understated in some of the things? Like whether it's like 1 less.
I think
lore.
they're more heavily weighted towards like strength.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, like even like direct comparisons, like cards are specifically worse in red than in other colors. That's where I'm confused on like what are they evaluating in red that warrants that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know.
All right, speaking of Moana, we've got Teka. 6 cost, uninkable, 8/6, no lore, reckless.
It's huge. It's big. I don't know. It can take out Ursula and live. but it's really slow. It's slow. It's uninkable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of want to try playing this card. Like, it probably survives multiple attacks.
Yeah, unless I have 3 Cuscos on board that are questing for 9.
That's true. That's true. It's a super rare, which is kind of weird.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I like Maui infinitely better than this.
Yeah, same.
Maui's better.
For one
And
cost
inkable.
less and inkable.
Cost one less. Yeah.
Yeah, like
There are
how
very
is
few
that not
cards that
inkable?
survive that.
How explain to me how this is uninkable?
Yeah.
Because what you're about to try to say is it can attack into things. At least it probably gets 3 cards, right?
Yeah, maybe. Probably.
But it's so slow.
All right, continuing the Moana theme, we've got Chief Tui. I don't know if that's how you say it. I've seen the movie, but I don't remember. Cost 7, inkable, blue, 3/6 with 3 lore pips. We always see 3 lore pips in blue and green. And just has support built in. So you don't need to bring your work together.
He works together with no one.
I've played this guy in quite a few of my decks. And yeah, I have since cut him. But I don't think I ever played him in any of the games. And I've played a lot of games with him.
Yeah, he seems kind of bad.
Well, that's because you like Burly Merman instead, right?
I don't think he's bad.
Agreed.
Not
play
actively
this.
bad, right? But like worse than the other options that you could play.
I play this over
cost, right?
over Triton.
Agreed.
I play this over Triton.
Yeah.
Say it.
Okay, but this is the blue Maleficent for same stats, right?
But
She's
support is
but with
gas.
support. Oh yeah, I agree. But is it two? Is it
worth
worth
2 resources?
2 resources?
So that's where this late game is fantastic. To like, if I top deck this, I'm thrilled. And if it's early, I'm not really hurt by using this, like just inking it. Like this is the first thing I ink when it's in my opening hand, and I'm fine with that. But when I do top deck it, I'm very excited about that.
I think that is significant. I never got him in a situation that he felt good, but I do think there are situations that he is really good. I think support is like super underrated right now.
I really don't like this card. I think it's because it doesn't do anything the turn that it enters play, and it costs 7.
That's fair.
And it might not do something the next turn either.
Yeah. You have to wait an entire turn, and you have to have another character out that you can take advantage of with, to use the support. Whereas Maleficent, which costs 5, like that's way earlier in a game. And all you're going to want to do is quest at that. I mean, if you play both, that's fine. But I mean, like at 7, are you really happy to like drop this? Like,
I am. I mean,
fine with
you
it.
haven't. You've never played the card.
If that's, but what I was saying is like I never got in a situation where I had him in hand that felt like it was a good time to play him. I always either like got him early and then inked him, and then my like cost curve was probably clunky for him. I think I agree with Jim that top decking this late, I'm fine dropping him because he quests for 3. Like that's the whole reason he was in my deck, is because he quests for 3 and has 6 health. I don't know. I don't think he's terrible, but I don't think he's great.
So 2 things. One, I think it's interesting that this is totally unrelated to our current status, but Mentor as a subtitle is on a lot of cards, and I'm really excited to see like a Mentor tribal thing come together, because obviously in every Disney movie there's like a mentor figure or whatever that comes out. Secondly, this next card is a reason why Chief Tui might not see a lot of play, because he's competing at the same cost with this guy. And it's a good thing we don't have Sir Christopher on this video, because we'd have to have the bleep button ready. 7 cost, Hades, blue, not inkable, a 3/6 with 2 lore pips, with an ability called Is There a Downside to This? When you play this character, you may put chosen opposing character into their player's inkwell face down, and he is a legendary.
You remember when we thought Genie was just like super oppressive and OP? This guy better than Genie.
Yep.
I think this is one of the best cards in the game.
Yeah,
I
personally.
would agree. Yeah.
Because at 7, it's like if you put something in my inkwell, like theoretically, I could already have 7 ink. I'm like, I don't. Do I need that?
Too late
like,
for it to matter.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been punished by that. As far as like, oh, that got them the last point of.
I mean, that's the whole
resources they
point of
needed.
the name of the ability is
Right.
that there is no downside to this.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I don't ever play Chief Tui because I'm playing this instead.
Yeah, for sure. For
So,
sure.
Yeah.
Green,
Chief.
blue, 4 genies and 4 Hades is just
Ridiculous.
insane. It's insane.
Ridiculous.
Mm.
You just bounce the thing long enough for you to draw into your Hades and then ink it.
Yeah. The meta's
Okay,
been
finally
solved.
to the card I'm most excited about. Let's go.
All right. Speaking of broken cards, just kidding. Philoctetes.
Oh my god.
Is that how you say it? Philoct. I
Philosophies.
can't. Philoctetes.
It's like a soft C, I think.
I don't even. What is this guy from?
What?
Are you kidding me?
He doesn't-
This is
Oh my gosh.
I've
Oh
not
my-
seen. What is he from? Is it Hercules? What is
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Okay,
That's
I don't,
right.
I don't
He's-
even remember seeing that.
2
movie.
words, David.
Okay,
2
okay.
words.
Off the top of your head, who plays him? Who voices him? Who does he look exactly like?
Oh gosh.
he's a comedian. He's a
Yeah.
comedian. Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah. I can picture him. Oh my gosh, the name. That's literally who I thought it was.
Uh-huh.
Danny DeVito.
why- Danny DeVito. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
The
terrible with
disrespect.
celebrity names,
Fantastic.
but I don't remember this guy
Character.
at all. So I'll watch
one
it
of the,
with.
one of the best characters in that movie, easily.
Yeah.
Along with
See, this
James
is a
Woods.
Disney movie, like the like Hades stuff, like all the dead souls. Like I'm like, my kids can't handle that right now. They're 5 and 3. You know, we'll get there, guys.
I mean, it's spooky, but it's one of my favorite
It's
movies.
such a good movie. Yeah.
Okay,
The music in that
cost.
movie is amazing.
Two
the
cost
trainer of
inkable
heroes.
blue character. We got another mentor. He's a 3/1 with 1 lore pip, built-in support.
It's fine,
Fine.
but I'd never play him.
one
Tinker
One
Boom sneezes
health.
on him.
yeah, one health is like real weak,
Anything with 1 health is just unplayable.
basically.
All right. All right. Now this is some interesting stuff. You know what, Mike? You do the honors. This is all your card. I know.
Oh.
All right. This is Tamatoa. It's an 8 cost inkable 5/8 with 1 lore pip, and it has 2 abilities. One is What Have We Here? When you play this character, and whenever he quests, you may return an item card from your discard to your hand. And then he has another ability called Glam. This character gets +1 lore for each item you have in play. So
This is like when the band were playing a concert and everyone leaves and lets the drummer do like a 10-minute
this is the
solo.
bass solo, yeah.
You got it, dog.
Mike, come on. You're the item guy. Tell
I think
us
it's
all
kinda
your
bad.
thoughts. Rip.
I was waiting for like, how is this just the most broken card in the game that we're just not seeing the Matrix for?
No, I think this is kind of bad. I think so. I've rebuilt a couple item decks, and I only have 2 of them in each of the item decks that I've built because you don't really want to see more than one of these because it's too expensive. I think Ariel just kind of like does what this wants to do, but better if you're playing some kind of like turbo, like drawing a bunch of items with Maurice and quest a million times and do the whole like shenanigans. If you can get this down and you already have a bunch of items out, cool. Like maybe this is great. But 2 things, like the first ability, what have we here? Just returning an item to your hand from your discard pile isn't that good. And other than that, this does nothing when it enters play. And I don't like cards that cost this much and don't do anything when they enter play. You have to wait an entire turn to quest with it, and hopefully you have enough items for it to be worthwhile.
How many items
yeah.
is that? How many items do you need to have on board for him to be good?
Like
At
3.
least 2, probably 3.
Only 2. I would say at least 3.
You think it has to have 4 ink or 4 lore pips for this to be playable?
I would venture on
Probably,
saying
probably.
needs to have 4 items out because Belle does the same thing at 10 ink.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
And 8's pretty close to 10. This is a 5/8 though. Belle's a 2/4, so that is somewhat relevant.
Yeah.
Just mark my words. at set 4, we're going to come back to this card.
Yeah, I think it has potential.
It's
like
better.
It's in a color that lets you ramp up to 8, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
like it has some points going for it. I just think right now, especially, it's just not like the payoff doesn't happen often enough for it to be worth really going hard after.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna try.
What were the Triton stats?
5'9".
5'9". 5'9".
5'9" for 2 or 3?
Lore?
Triton?
2 lore.
2 lore. I mean, because like Triton was almost playable until we got Hades and Chief Tui over here. So I'm like, it's reasonable. I mean, even with 2 items,
I think it just gets edged out, and you have to play items too. Like a lot of the items are kind of bad.
Well,
and
so the Scepter I'm playing.
Yeah.
The Scepter I'm playing naturally, though. Like the Scepter is good enough where I typically want that in a deck.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, obviously, 5'8" for 2 is not good, but I don't think it needs many more good items to be very playable.
All right, well let's talk about these items right after this guy, because that's
we got
at least we got a couple that are spicy. Yeah. All right, so we've got Eye of the Fates. It costs 4. It's inkable at least. Finally, an item that's inkable. And so it's blue item. Says see the future. Exert. Chosen character gets +1 lore this turn. So every turn you're basically getting a lore.
It's very expensive. Like 4 is a lot. You have to be making such good use of this effect for it to be worth 4. But like, I have to try it again, and I have a deck built for it with Belle, where you give Belle extra lore with these cards, and then you kind of like go off and play a bunch of items with your Maurices, and you're drawing cards, and you're playing more items, and you're questing for like 10 in a turn. Maybe that's a thing that you can potentially do. I mean, it feels like a very like one-sided, like everything has to go right for you, everything has to go wrong for your opponent kind of game. But I don't know. I don't think that this is any good outside of a deck that's like trying to do that. And I don't think doing that, I haven't seen it be that good. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but you have Ariel on board, you quest with her, you play this, you ready her, then you use this, and now she's questing for 2, so you quest again, quest for 2.
Yeah.
You play another item, and then you ready her, and then I'm just kidding.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, probably not.
And Maurice is on board, so you draw a card.
Yeah. No, you got 2 Maurices, so you draw 2 cards.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think this goes like, I don't know. I don't love it in like the strictly item deck, but I do think around that turn anyway in blue, if you're ramping, 4 is kind of that weird limbo period anyway. Like
you're never playing an item that costs 4 because of Beast.
Yeah, that's a factor.
People play Beast,
you'd rather play almost Beast? Not that much, but
I don't see a lot of people playing that Beast anymore.
They would if items were more prevalent, but I think the main downside to this is, and why I think it only goes in a deck that cares about items, is that like just play a character that costs 4 and quest for like 2. Right? Yeah. Like that's 2 lore every turn. In theory, your opponent can't interact with this as easily, but like, I don't know. Just seems worse.
All right, well, how about this item? We've got Fishbone Quill. It costs 3. It's inkable. It's a blue item. It says go ahead and sign. Exert. Put any card from your hand into your inkwell face down, including those uninkable things you don't want right now.
That's what I like better.
It still costs too much.
It is expensive.
Like the times that you want to be able to ink something that's uninkable is going to be in the first 3 turns anyway, I feel like.
This probably goes into that like Belle Whole New World sort of style deck, and maybe not that much else.
Yeah, if you're running steel, you do want to run more uninkable stuff, which gives you something to do with that.
I can maybe see this in purple as well, just where you're cycling through cards anyway, so you're fine to put some of them back. But I think steel's probably the move. But even still, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I think you need a lot of things that can refill your hand after you're putting all of this from your hand into your inkwell. I think off the top of your deck into your inkwell is so much better.
Yeah,
that would be nuts.
Well,
All right, we've spent so much time talking about items. We got to keep going.
We only have 6 cards left. So
Yeah, we're
Oh my gosh,
bear
it's
with us.
amazing. If you're still with us, you're the real people. All right, Donald Duck, Musketeer, Steel, cost 4, Inkable, 2/5 with 1 lore pip, Bodyguard, and an ability. Stay alert during your turn. Your Musketeer characters gain evasive.
Womp.
Yay!
I was
Which
so
is
excited to see
interesting.
what the third Musketeer was going to be, and I just feel like I was so disappointed when I saw
Well,
this.
yeah, we all knew like
not
Steel needed a
disappointed.
way to
I'm
deal
not
with
disappointed.
evasives.
Number one, the artwork on this is just straight fire.
It is pretty gas.
Okay.
It's true. It's true.
Number 2, if your bodyguards have evasive and they're exhausted, then your opponent literally can't interact with your board because unless they have evasive characters.
It's just your turn.
It's your turn.
Oh, it's just your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not Jay's turn. David's turn.
It's still fine. I mean, you get evasion control. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
bad.
but you could just smash them, or or Tinkerboom, or fire the cannons, or like
think-
you can
okay.
deal with phases already in Steel.
I think the stay alert ability is rarely going to be relevant, but
Yep.
the fact that it is a bodyguard and it has 5 health and it's a musketeer means that you can get benefits from the other musketeers and tabard and all this nonsense. I think it's like a C tier deck probably, but I don't know.
It is
It's
a
like kinda
3/5
fun.
if you have
Mickey.
Mickey on board.
Woo.
If Mickey gave willpower instead of health,
Ugh.
then I'd like it a lot better.
Simba is a 2-cost 2/3 with bodyguard. Like, so much better to me.
Willpower and health is the same thing. Like,
Sorry, strength. Sorry. Yeah. Willpower instead of strength.
okay,
Yeah.
that makes
I
more
did try a Talbert deck, but then Beast just destroyed the Talbert. So.
Oh no.
sense. You play the one person playing face still. All right, we got
Trashes the deck
Aladdin.
instantly.
Steel, cost 2, he's inkable, 2/1 with 2 lore pips.
2 lore pips at 2 is not irrelevant, but he has 1, so
Yeah.
Tinkerbell just
Yeah.
defeats him. But you
She
probably get your 2 lore out of him before Tinkerbell drops anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is
Like-
another Aladdin outside of green or red that lets you shift Aladdin. So like red steel is possible to
Mhm.
shift
Okay.
Aladdin,
Sure.
which is sweet. Other than that, he's just mid.
I mean, if you're going with a go wide strategy deck, I kind of like this early game anyway because it does trade with their 2/2s. So you quest for 2, and they're forced to trade in their 1-drop where they probably previously didn't want to because most people are playing those 1/1 for 2s that then you just trade into and you're happy about. So it makes it a little bit more awkward early game, but anywhere past turn 3, I'm hating playing this.
Yeah, I'm not generally very excited about that card. I think if you are playing, I think the only reason I would play it was if I was playing red and I wanted to shift into the 7-cost Aladdin.
One sweet thing is that he has a sword, so that puts more stock in my theory that they're going to put more sword characters in steel.
Oh yeah, the scimitar thing. That we didn't even mention that, guys.
Grab
Oh,
your
yeah.
sword
Aladdin
in red.
synergy.
So it can attack for 4.
Yay. All right. Speaking of unexciting characters, we got Lilo. 3-cost inkable steel character. She's a 4/2 with 2 lore pips.
This is not unexciting.
I think
Because-
she's unexciting.
It can kill Cusco.
Cusco.
Let's go.
I pointed that out to Mike, I think, the other
Yep.
day. I was like,
You did.
I've been looking at more
Greatest
characters. Like Gaston is a
Gaston,
2-cost
yeah.
that has 4/2 and he's reckless. And I've been looking at more characters, trying to include more characters that have at least 4 attack.
Okay.
Simply because you want to be able to swing into Cusco with 1 character and take him out.
Okay.
So trading
Yeah.
a 3 because it's going to be banished anyway when you defeat Cusco. So you're just trading a 3/4/5 essentially.
Hmm.
So it feels better.
And that's the only
I just
reason to play that card.
anything. I mean, I know you guys have cooled on Fire the Cannons, but when I see stuff like that, like a 3-cost that can be sneezed on by Fire the Cannons, like I get less excited. But you're not wrong. If Cusco is the thing,
It's
Well, if you're playing against green, then you probably just ink this anyway. Or if you're
Yeah,
playing against steel, you probably just ink this
Okay.
anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Yeah, I think it's strictly a tech card. I don't think it's good otherwise.
Oh, good. Sideboarding. Another item, guys. I thought we got away from items. Plasma Blaster costs 3 steel, not inkable. Quick shot, exert and pay 2. Deal 1 damage to chosen character.
Spend 5 resources, deal 1 damage to a chosen character.
Or 7 to deal 2.
9 to
Over
deal
2
3.
turns.
At what point are you finally seeing value? I don't know if you ever are.
I don't
in my head,
think
I'm like,
this is as bad.
I
as
don't
you're
actually
making
hate
it
this
out
card.
to be.
Yeah.
It's just so much just for the, like, you can do a couple more up trades. Like, I just don't see how this ever goes into my deck. I would like it in limited, but that's about it in my thought process.
It goes into an item deck. That's why.
Okay.
That's why you don't like it.
I played this.
I don't think it even does.
Oh, I
So.
tried building a deck that was built around Beast, the green one. And I was just playing basically anything that can ping anything so that I could try and get value out of it. But I didn't draw Beast, but I did get value out of this card. And it was kind of cool. Like if you're at the end of a game and you're sort of top decking, or you're in that sort of dance with your opponent where you're just like drawing stuff and trying to finish things. Like sometimes you just have ink left over, and this is like a decent way to sink that leftover ink.
Okay.
Let me ask, isn't
I
it
don't know.
better? Isn't it just better to play Hans because he's a 3 cost?
Yeah,
that's
probably.
inkable, and when he quests, he deals the damage.
Oh yeah, no. Well, he's 4 that's
He
inkable.
costs 4.
Oh, he's a 4
But
cost.
yes.
Oh.
Yes. Most likely.
But combined together,
I
now
bet you
we're
like
really
the
starting to get some ping
damage
damage going.
There it is. All right.
We got Mr.
We've
Stanky
got
over here.
Yeah, I know. Literally, I
Stank.
saw. It looked like Stanky at first, but Starkey cost 5, inkable, steel character. That's a 5/4 with 1 lore pip. While you have a captain character in play, this character gets plus
Hold
1
on
more.
a second.
Yeah, you're gonna see how many captains there are.
No, I gotta see one specific
Oh, is
character.
Gantu a captain?
Is Gantu a captain?
He is a captain.
He is.
Have we
He's
found
an alien.
the Gantu?
Is he an alien captain? Is that what it is?
He is alien captain.
Let's go. We
There it
found
is.
the Gantu deck.
We did it.
All right. S tier card.
What I think that's the name of this YouTube video.
I don't think this is even good if you have a captain in play though, right?
It should be for each captain, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because then you've got something to chase.
Some
But,
captain synergy.
yeah.
5 cost.
Like how many
5/4.
hooks can I get out before I drop the Starkey and he just goes nuts?
Like you want to play steel with like Captain Hook and fire the cannons and stuff like that. Like what are you pairing this color with to where this is worth including
Mono steel.
at
Let's do
5?
it.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. I don't see it.
It's not good.
Yeah.
I almost want like an unplayable challenge to see like who can win the most games out of 10 with the pirate deck.
There's like
Listen.
3 captain hooks in steel, so you could play a mono steel deck and just have him and
That's
3
true.
all the captain hooks and
Seems
Gantu.
good.
But is
Hey.
it even good? Like, is the payoff even worth it?
No.
No shot.
I didn't think
Listen.
so.
I'm calling it now. Buzz
No.
Lightyear is going to be a captain,
Oh,
and there's going to be some crazy Buzz Lightyear Starkey, synergy.
Shenanigans.
We're going to be
Let's
talking
go.
about
perfect.
it. I'm telling you,
I'm ready for it.
It's objectively awful.
guys. Final spoiler.
Last card.
We
It's a
did it.
legendary. It's a
We
legendary.
did it.
too.
Legendary. Take cost. 6 cost. Inkable. Steel character. 5/5. 2 lore pips. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you gain 2 lore.
Hmm.
That's kind of spicy.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Not the legendary I want, but
Okay, so why is this? Is Aladdin not just better for one
One more.
cost more?
well,
Yeah.
different ink.
Well,
There-
I'm trying to wonder why this is the legendary, but then Aladdin isn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
don't know if there's an
Teka
answer.
isn't as a household name like Aladdin is.
Yeah.
Are any Floodborns Legendaries.
Elsa.
Probably not. Elsa is. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, this card's good. I mean,
It's
just
a cool
because
card.
it's not Aladdin doesn't mean
Yeah.
it's not good. I think this is still a great card.
Yeah. I mean, I
And it
built
pairs
a
with
deck
all
around
the
this. Yeah, I,
trash
it is a
card.
villain.
I built a deck around this with Amethyst and used the Pocket Watch to rush this in, and it felt pretty strong. So
Mhm.
I don't know. It's a cool card. I don't think it's like the most powerful card out there, but
It pairs great with
cool.
those things that we said, like Lefou and Shield of Virtue too, which is sweet. If they survive their first attack.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
There's that red
I
steel
like-
deck coming up again.
I really like that Red Steel is all about like challenging your character with characters and getting benefits for doing it. So it seems like a really cool like synergy there.
My conspiracy theorist hat on. I'm looking at the title of this card, and to me, this is confirming Kingdom Hearts in Disney Lorcana, because this is the first Heartless in the game.
Well, there you go. It's confirmed.
Thousands more to come. Trust me. So grab your Keyblades. Let's get to banishing.
Yes.
I literally have no idea what you're saying.
Mike was following.
What?
It's a video game.
You've never
Nerds.
Oh my god.
It was
Play
the
a real
greatest game of my
This guy.
childhood.
Oh
Play
yeah,
a
me
real
too. Me
Disney
too.
game. Cards.
Okay, go back to your Star Wars
Sorry.
Legos.
We're at an hour and a half. We need to call it. If you are still listening to this, if you're still watching it, you are a true friend. We love you. Please join the Discord if you're not in there already. Our Discord has exploded the last week. We're like over 400 members now or something like that. Like it's crazy. So come talk games with us. We love it. Just follow us on there. It's Gen Con week, guys. We got to get some sleep or we're going to play terribly at Gen Con. Any final thoughts?
No. Thanks for watching.
I'm never gonna play terrible. It doesn't matter how much sleep I have. Just an FYI.
There it is.
Okay.
On that note, guys, we'll see you later.
Bye, everyone.